Hello, and welcome to Heart, Mind, and Mechanics Business Coaching. My name is Wendy Byford, and in this video, we're going to start going through the 5 questions that I posed in my previous video, Now I'm Ready to Be My Own Boss. We talked about when you start a business, before you do anything else, get your logo, get your website, get your, whatever branding you want, that there were 5 specific questions that you really needed to answer in order to build a foundation, in order to build that business. Then I said I would go into each of those 5 questions in depth, and this is the first video in the series. We're going to talk about, why do I need to know my why in order to start a business? Now, if you have ever been in network marketing, or perhaps you've had a business coach, they have probably asked you as their first question, why do you want a business? Well, the answer is usually superficial. I want to make money, I want impact, I want to help this group of people, I want to give my family a better life, whatever it is. We kind of throw out the answer without really thinking about it too much. And we never actually ask the question back. Why do you want to know? Why is it important for you to know why I want to start a business? Well, this question is actually a really important question if you're going to start a business that you intend to run like a business and not a hobby. So many times a year, hundreds of thousands of people, believe it or not, in the US alone, start businesses and then close them down when they're less than 12 months old. Well, why is that? It's because they haven't gone through these questions that I'm asking you. And the first question is, why do you want to start a business? Now, if you're in corporate America and you have just had it, or maybe your job left you in the last 12 to 18 months and you need to do something, you may have decided that, hey, I don't want to go back into another corporate or small business environment. I want to be my own boss. I want to set my own rules. I want to set my own hours. I want to be there for my family. Whatever it is, you've decided that setting up your own business is the way to go. Now, before you've kind of set on that, hopefully you've gone through looking at, should I go and get another job? If I don't like corporate America, maybe going into a smaller business would be a good route for me. Or if I don't like this corporation, maybe a different corporation would be the place for me to be. However, you could also take a sabbatical, upgrade your skills, do a variety of things other than setting up your own business. But if you look at this and say, look, there is something in me that needs to come out. I really believe that I have a lot more potential than I am able to express in any job working for anybody else, then great, let's start your own business. Now, this isn't your why necessarily. It might be part of it, but it's not necessarily the whole picture. And you need to know your why for a couple of reasons. Now, if you have had a business coach or you've been in network marketing, they'll say, well, that why is going to drag you across the hard times and make sure that you keep going even when times are rough. And that is true if you got to your actual why, and I'll explain how you do that in just a moment. But there's another even bigger reason that you need to know your why. And that's because when you start to look at the vision of what you want to create, and that vision is so important as you go forward. When you start to envision what it is that you want to create, you need to make sure that that vision actually supports the why you're doing this. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you've gotten down to the nitty-gritty, and the why is because you want to be there for your children in a way that your parents were never there for you. You swore you wouldn't do that to your kids, but working in a corporate job, 50, 60 hours a week, you haven't been able to fulfill that promise to yourself that you would be there for your kids. So now you want to build your own business so you can do that. But the business that you're envisioning is a 7-figure business where you're going to be back to working 50, 60 hours a week, and you won't be there able to go to your daughter's soccer practice or your son's violin rehearsal or whatever it is. So you need to know, when you start visioning what it is that you want to bring to life, you need to know what it is that is really going to make your heart sing, the real why you want to do this, and make sure that you've got a match. So it may be that if being there for your kids is the most important thing for you, now that they're getting a little older, you really, really want to support them, then perhaps your vision of your company isn't going to be 7-figure. Maybe it'll be enough that you can have a nice lifestyle, and with the team that you put in place, maybe you only have to work 4 or 5 hours a day, so you can take those hours off in the afternoon, go watch that practice, drive your kids wherever they need to go, be the home that they bring their friends to. Whatever it is that you really want, you can do with the vision of the business that you want to build. So understanding your why and making sure that you are in sync with that vision is incredibly important. So how do you get to the why? Well, you might be looking at saying, well, I've known this for a while, and so this is my why. But chances are pretty good that it is not really what your why is. The way that you hit your why is very simple. It's something that I learned probably 20, 25 years ago, and I just heard it again listening to something with Dean Graziosi. A coach did this to him. So this process has been around for quite a while in various formats, but it is essentially the same process. What you need to do is to find somebody that you trust, not a family member, because what comes out you may not actually want your family to know, especially the messy part of the process. So you may actually want to get a coach, or you may want to get a friend, somebody that you trust, and somebody who can remain neutral through the process. If you've got somebody that you love to death, but they really want to help you, and so they keep jumping in to give you suggestions, that's not going to help. This has to come from you. It has to come from your gut, deep inside you. It has to be something that when it comes out, you know it. And all that person is going to do is to look at you either face-to-face or over Zoom. They're going to keep a neutral face, and they're going to keep asking you, why is that important to you? So the first question is, why do you want to start a business? And you may say, because I want to be in charge of my hours. And then the person will say, why is that important to you? And then you'll say, because, I don't want to work 40 or 50 hours a week. I actually want to work 30 hours a week. Why is that important to you? That's all they do, is they keep asking why. And that why hangs in the air, and you may have to stop and think about it a little bit, but eventually this is going to start to push you to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And then what'll happen is the real why will come out. It's going to escape your mouth before you have a chance to stop it. It'll come out before your brain is engaged to actually filter it. And what will come out is the real why, and then there'll be a sense of relief. Now, many people, when they have that sense of relief, they start to cry, because it's the first time they've ever acknowledged that that is the real why. That's what is so important to them. So if this happens, you want somebody that you absolutely trust, who's there with the box of Kleenex, so that they can mop up the tears, because this is going to be your aha moment, your breakthrough moment. This is going to be so important to you, because this is why building your business is so important, and it's going to be the touchstone against which you have to evaluate every single version of the business that you want to create. So go ahead and find your trusted person. Make sure that they understand what their role is, to ask, why do you want to set up your own business? And then, why is this important to you? And they cannot stop until they get to that point where you have hit rock bottom and the tears are starting to flow. And they'll know, and you'll know when you've reached it, when you're absolutely at the bottom and you know. Now, you may want to do this exercise once every 2 or 3 years. I've been doing this exercise over 20 years. And every time I do it, the answer surprises me. And yeah, I still get tears, because as I grow, as I change, as things happen, I know that the why morphs. And so I want to get to that why and make sure that I'm on track on a continuing basis. So I do that exercise every once in a while. And you can do it, once you get the hang of this, you can do it for yourself as well. But it's always better to have somebody else there, because you might let yourself off the hook and they may be trained not to do that. So go ahead and try it. Find out what your real why is, and then keep that in a notebook somewhere so that when we get to the part where you're starting to look at what this business is going to be, you can actually do the exercise of matching your vision to what that why is. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If it has been, please subscribe to this channel so we can bring you lots more of really great information, training, and interviews. And I hope to see you again soon. And if you decide that you would like to have a coach on your journey to build your business, then please go to www.wendybyford.com/explore and let's have a conversation. Not every coach is good for every person. Not every person is a fit for every coach. I want to make sure that if we are going to work together, that we are a fit, that I can truly help you. So let's have that conversation. Go to www.wendybyford.com/explore. Sign up for your time and date that suits you, and let's have that conversation. All right, everybody, I will see you in the next video where we're going to tackle question number 2. See you then.